Beach Talk Radio, episode number 48. We are live from Fort Myers Beach at Peach Timeout for episode number 48. We have an action-packed show for you today, and Kim is going to lead us off today with our first interview. George Gilbert is here. We also have later on in the show, we have Tony Sands, and we have lots to talk about next week's show, a very special show next week. So, dear, take it away.
Wow, that was a quick introduction today. Yes, well, thank you for joining us today, George Gilbert.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to have you here, and you ended up coming on after Ed saw you perform down here not too long ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your variety show.
Well, my name's George Gilbert, performing as the Pineapple Man. It's a tropicomedy, a tropical-themed comedy magic show that's just all about good vibes and having fun. You'll see me do anything from sleight of hand magic, juggling, and just kind of humorous buffoonery and playing with the people.
Now, that's something that my husband engages in a lot, is buffoonery. Yeah. It's not always humorous, but, you know, we have lots of that going on. Yeah. So where else have you performed besides Fort Myers Beach?
All over the country, and in Europe, abroad, Canada, all over North America. And that's pretty much it. Europe is fun because you get to do a lot of countries.
Okay.
And I just do fairs, festivals, and some street performing.
And what is your background? How did you get started in this, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, my background, I was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
At the age of 0. And
I thought you were going to tell us the year. I was like, okay.
And 8 years later, I turned 8 because that's how linear time works, right? And when I was 8 years old, I got a book from the library about Harry Houdini, and that's what sparked the whole thing. So okay. Houdini was the big inspiration. And then it was like magic specials on TV, like David Copperfield and stuff like that, going to see him live. And it's really weird because, like, when you're a kid and you say, like, oh, I want to be this when I grow up, and maybe it can change, like, every week.
Right.
But for me, like, the first thing I ever wanted to be was a magician. And now that's what I'm doing. I mean, I've had real jobs.
Right.
But this is it. My life's cut out for me.
So how old were you the first time you performed?
I was,
would you say?
Performed professionally, like whereas it was like, this is what I'm gonna try to
well
do.
No, as a kid, like, when did you start?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time, for friends and family, just all the time.
So you were like your parents' free entertainment?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We have guests over. George is going to do a magic trick for you. So.
And so is there, other than reading books, mm-hmm. is there formal training that goes into this profession?
Usually other performers and entertainers, we kind of like learn from each other, other magicians, especially in magic, like the art of magic.
Okay.
That's very important to have a teacher.
So it's sort of through internships or mentorships.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and in the I mean, nowadays it's like everybody thinks you can just kind of like look on YouTube and learn
right.
something. Not necessarily true. Like, the real secrets are really passed on through internship, like you said.
Apprenticeship, right.
Yeah.
And so who were some of the people that mentored you?
One of my mentors is a man by the name of Jimmy. Jimmy
okay.
talks a lot, who is a kind of like a clown character, but a very good magician. There's been other guys like a magician by the name of Eric Evans, Jim Cellini, rest in peace, who is a student of a great magician by the name of Tony Slidini.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Slidini,
yeah.
All right. Mm. And so what are some of your favorite tricks, or what? I mean, I know you're famous for the pineapple trick.
The pineapple trick,
which is a sleight of hand trick, not to give everything away, but
mostly sleight of hand. I do illusions too. I actually have a partner. We're working on a big illusion together. Her name's Brittany Steffens, aka Brittany Sparkles.
and Brittany is with us today.
Amazing. Yeah.
Lean in here, Brittany. You got to get way in here. And so, Brittany, what kind of illusions do you do? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm actually a professional circus performer, so this will be my first time doing illusions. Yeah.
And
I'm converting her. For working.
And what do you guys have planned? Not to give it all away.
So it's a
To
very
be fair, we just pulled her in, so she didn't have a lot of prep time.
It's a new take on an old illusion. So remember how I said Harry Houdini's like my big inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of invented this illusion called the metamorphosis,
Okay.
which is getting a woman getting inside of a box and changing places with the performer. And I kind of have like a new take on it that we're gonna try to do, not to give any surprises.
We don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Where are you planning to debut this possibly, or have you decided?
Well, that's the thing is we're building we have a small community here, and we're trying to build our community, and we're trying to let people know that we're here. So we can just let people know that they can book us, whether it be a hotel, a corporate event, a private party, whatever. Like,
right.
We're here. So no set plans yet on where we're going to do.
Now, I know you say about letting people know that you're here, but I've seen some of the crowds that you've drawn. So a lot of people, you pull them in very easily, at least in the street performing arena. So I think a lot of people do know. Now, I was wondering, have you had any really difficult people in the audience, sort of like when someone's doing a comedy show and they get someone who they just can't, get through, or have you not?
No,
had that
I try not
experience?
to really focus on that. If somebody's being difficult, I just kind of focus on the rest of the audience and play to the audience that I know is having a good time.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't really focus on.
You haven't had that.
The negative. I just take the negative out.
And move on. Now, what about, have you ever had any snafus with any of your tricks or equipment?
Well, the thing
is that a bad question? I mean, it's got to happen, and I'm sure you just roll with it. But.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, I'm just a human, and things happen, and it's comedy really. I do magic. And I tell jokes, right? So if I do a magic trick, it doesn't work. It's a joke.
I'm sorry about that one. So on your website, it mentions that you attended. There's lots of things on your website, which is GeorgeGilbertVarietyShow.com.
Correct. Yep.
And so it mentions that you went to the World Championship of Street Magicians, and that was in Germany?
Yes.
And so, tell us about that.
That's that's a lot of fun. That was just recently, last August, and they have a festival where they get all of the kind of the best street magicians around the world, and they let me be there too. So that was pretty fun. It's great because you get to see all the different styles of performing. Like the Koreans have a much different style from us, and even the Europeans in general have a much different style from the American performers. But we all get to come together and we have that camaraderie. That we're just doing what we love. So is it a competition? Does somebody win? It is a competition. I think I pretty much forfeited the competition last year because I was so jet lagged that I missed one of my performances.
Oh. You can't do any magic to fix that, I guess.
No, yeah. But yeah, it's very fairly judged by other magicians. And but yeah, it's a great festival. It's really great.
Now, for kids who are, I know I saw some of your shows on YouTube, and the kids you were lifting them up and having a good time. What for kids who are interested in magic, what would you suggest to them?
Read books, read
Okay.
books. Stay off the internet. Get off of YouTube. Don't. Yeah, definitely read magic books. And also, like I said, we are building a community of people who are interested in magic, juggling, circus performing, variety arts. We actually have a group on Facebook, and we try to meet up everybody once a week at a local park somewhere. And if anybody's interested in learning or just hanging out, you can actually email Brittany. What's your email, Brittany?
It's BrittanyCircus@gmail.com.
BrittanyCircus@gmail.com. She is kind of like the glue of our community. Like, she's like on point, you know, organized and everything, and just she inspires all of us. She really does. And we we've been trying to convince her to perform with us
Okay.
for a very long time, and we finally convinced her to perform on the beach. Now there's a problem. At the moment, you can only get a street performer's permit if you had a permit before, and she never has.
So
I can jump in here because I kind of know what's going on, dear. I know that there is another street performer that's meeting with the city council, and because there was just an election, maybe it wasn't a top priority, but the person that she or he was meeting with is now the mayor. So I'm sure that it's still on the agenda and that they're working on it. I know that they're trying to weed out some of the vendors that were I think this is the right thing, if I remember back. It's been actually quite a few months that they're trying to weed out people that say they're street performers, but they're vendors, and they're setting up as vendors and they're getting a street performer's license. So they're trying to work through so that it's more folks like you guys and the guy that stands up there and doesn't move for 8 hours, and not people that are taking advantage of that. I don't know what the status is of that, but we'll find out after today's show, that's for sure, because I mean, it's a great show, and I don't think I've seen a crowd around a street performer bigger than yours, and it's every single time. And that's what's great about it. And people post videos from Times Square when they see what's going on there. So I think maybe I definitely will ask about it this week to see what the status is of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
is there a limit? Do you know if there's a limit on the number of street performer permits? Okay. Well, we'll have to follow up and get some clarification on that.
Well, I did want to ask one thing too, because I know you're not going to. What's with the hair?
Pineapple.
Oh, okay. The whole thing is a pineapple. Did you bring a
I'm
magic trick with you?
Can
you do
can
one?
always do one.
All right.
All right.
Do we
That
need to hold the
was the
mic for
question.
you?
What's that?
Do we need to hold the mic for you while you perform? Oh, he's got things in his pockets, which is always
Well, of
nice. You
course.
can't see this on
It's
the radio
probably
part
a
of it, but
special suit
if you're
with
listening
all
on
sorts
radio,
of special pockets and stuff.
if you're listening on the radio, it is on Facebook, so you can always go to our Facebook
Look,
page
we're not playing poker now.
and see nice and close
No
to the camera,
poker.
George. All right. He's flailing the cards. A brand new deck of cards. Very nice. You could be a dealer in Las Vegas the way you're shuffling those. Very nice.
One thing that's like often heard of, seldom seen, is a one-hand cut and shuffle. And it's seldom seen because it's very difficult to do. I don't even know if I'll be able to do it right now, but we're going to try it.
It's very windy out here if it doesn't work.
Stretch.
Very
stretch.
nice.
The cards are split into
Two new?
two even packs,
Mhm.
interlaced. Every other card start to finish. Riffled on
Very
that.
nice.
Wow, nice job.
It's not really a magic trick. It's just talent, right?
It's flexibility and dexterity.
Dexterity.
It's a very bright outfit you have on too. Where did you get that? Like I'm sure you had to get it. You didn't buy it at Walmart or something, right? You have a special made.
This is special made. Here, would you like to see something?
Is that
Like
two decks of cards or one?
This is just one.
Okay.
Just one regular
Just one.
deck.
They're all
right.
different on this side. They're all the same on the back.
Right.
You know, just like people.
Same in the front, same in the back.
There you go.
All right, what do you want me to do?
What would you like? Your
I don't
hands
know.
are tied. So here, would you like to take a card? You can have any one you want. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. Just reach in, grab one out. You can have
All
any
right.
one.
We're grabbing a card, everybody.
And here, we'll make this.
Can you see the card, everybody?
Special.
There
Dear.
it is. Yeah.
We'll pretend I don't
Rexann
know
is here. Very
the hearts
nice.
Because I can see it. In the...
What happened? You could see the
You
card?
showed it, and then he can see it.
You can
It's
see
okay.
it. Oh,
It's okay if I see the card. I've seen the trick before. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
very nice.
Here,
So
can you
what?
write,
Write what on it?
Ed, whatever you want. Just some kind of. That way, you know, if you see that card again, you
All
know
right.
it's yours. All right. Let's recap.
This doesn't work well on the radio, dear. We'll have to remember that, but no
We'll put
problem
it
at
in.
all. We're doing a magic trick here,
Halfway.
everybody. I'm not doing it.
We'll take this 5 of hearts. Can you hold out your hand?
Yep, 5 of hearts going on my hand. Thank you.
Lift your hand up there.
Oh,
Lift it
there you
up.
go. Take a look at your card.
All right. Wow. That was crazy.
And it is the queen
That
of
was
hearts.
crazy. That's
There you go.
awesome. Very nice. So the card was a 5 of, what was it? 5 of hearts? And he flips, he did something, and then the 5 of
You
hearts was
blinked,
gone.
and that was it.
I was looking at Rexann. That's what happened. And then the Beach Talk radio
Yes,
card came on,
Rexann
which was
the distractor.
strange.
It was all
This is
set up.
strange. So very nice. She says, I've never been told I've been distracting. So
Oh wow, she has backstage.
that's right.
passes.
By the way, just so you know, Rexann is a new council member.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Just
So
got into the council.
very nice. Yes, we're thankful she's on the council now, but we won't get into any of that. So, what time are you performing today, George?
I think I'm going to do a show at 11:30.
Okay.
We're going to be over here on the side of the information booth over there.
Okay, that's because the band is set up here. Otherwise, you'd be in the main stage area.
Yes,
So
we're going to
very
have
nice.
live music. I think it starts at 4:00.
And you probably asked us already, but how long is the performance?
No, good question, dear.
Thank you.
So it's about 25 minutes from start to finish, from calling people over to the finale trick, the world famous pineapple trick.
And people
So-
can come on down. They can watch you for free, and you work on tips.
Tips. Yep.
All
that's
right.
it. It's a free show. Just pay whatever you feel it was worth at the end. And if you don't have any cash, that's fine too. It's for everybody.
Or credit. No, you don't.
Yeah,
take credit
right.
cards.
Or just
Can
take
you
money from the people next to
So
you.
there's
It's
an
fine.
ATM
No, don't
now
do that.
here, and this
All right.
ATM actually spits
That's
the money
right.
out
That's a
all the
magic
way
trick right
across
there,
Times
so-
Square, which is
Yeah.
very interesting to watch.
Yeah, but it only spits out 20s,
That's
so
right.
that works out good for me. That's-
Do you have the routine down? I mean, go through some of it right now.
go through some of
Some
the
of the routine that you're going to do, like you know it by heart. So go ahead and start going. It's great, dear. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know because I don't have my props with me. So I mean, what do you mean?
You know it by heart. Go ahead. Start it
no,
off.
What are
Give
you?
a little preview of the show. Come on.
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit of the entertaining.
So, okay, I'll just-
commentary?
My name's George Gilbert. I'm a variety performer originally from Baltimore, Maryland.
Wish I had some
What you're going to
music.
see today is
Sorry.
my big finale trick, the world famous pineapple trick. And I have a catchphrase in my show, too. Every time I say world famous pineapple trick, the audience together in unison yells, hooray. So,
All right,
It's a
well,
little
we'll
more.
keep
It's a
that
little
up.
So
more
we're gonna-
rambunctious than that.
so coming up in just a moment, the world famous pineapple trick.
Hooray!
You know, George, I have to say, when I watched you perform, you would never think that you come across as a quiet person, but for some reason, I'm getting the vibe that you're quiet or nervous.
I'm a more reserved person.
You are not.
in-
You're a magician. You're a public performer. You are not. That's
what
crazy
he's
talk.
In his, in
He
his
breaks out of the
shit.
shell all of a
it's a
sudden.
it's a character thing.
Yeah.
It's in my show. I'm playing a character, and in reality, I think I'm much more reserved. But yeah.
How many performances a week are you putting on now?
I probably do about a dozen.
And you're open to doing more.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right.
So
We're here.
people give him a call, go on the website, book him, and at your event.
Right. Tell everybody once more where they can find you.
Well, you can always give me a call at 727-333-0055. Email george@georgegilbertshow.com or visit georgegilbertshow.com.
And we'll be sure to post that
Mhm.
after the show so everybody knows where to reach him.
And also, if you want to learn, again, Brittany's kind of the leader of our community here, and you can send her an email at brittanycircus@gmail.com.
Thanks so
How do you
much,
spell
George.
Brittany? BRIT.
BRITTANY.
Yeah.
The
George, thanks so
traditional one.
much. Good luck today.
Thank
we
you so much
appreciate
for
you
having
coming
me.
on.
Coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And
Mhm.
before our second guest, we'll see if Rexann will come on down and hang out with us. Thank you very much, you guys.
Thanks so much, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Rexann,
Have a seat.
The brand
Here,
new
dear,
council
switch with me.
member.
Come on in.
We appreciate you coming on. Let's switch
I didn't
mics
mean
here.
to horn in,
Oh,
but I did.
we don't mind that
if
at
you
all.
had 2 minutes, I wanted to say thank you to everybody.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, everybody.
New
I'm
council
having
member.
a good time already.
Yes, you
We're
are.
off to a great start.
Yeah.
And in fact, at Thursday's meeting, we were actually joking and laughing during a council planning meeting.
I
so
saw
that was fun.
You had a meeting. Was it Monday or Tuesday? The first meeting.
The first meeting was Monday, and then we also had an all-day thing going Thursday. We had a planning meeting in the morning, and then we met with some of our advisory committees in the afternoon. Got a lot accomplished, and like I said, we were laughing and joking and having a good time.
It's been great to watch all week. I saw all the ceremonies on Monday when everybody was sworn in, and that was nice. And then on Thursday, I watched as much as I could, but I have to say they do go on a long time.
It was all day.
Yeah, but that's what the planning meetings are for.
And yes, and that's the only time the council people are allowed to talk to each other.
Oh, okay.
So that sometimes it seems like it goes on and on but that's because something new comes up that we haven't had a chance to explore with each other, and that's the only time we really can talk about these issues.
I was watching when they were talking about something that had to do with mooring, and I have to be honest with you, I had no idea what was going on there with the boats and the people that
the town of Fort Myers Beach actually has a mooring field that we run.
Okay.
It is off of the south side of the bridge. We're talking about expanding possibly to the north side of the bridge because we have a lot of people that are mooring there, and it's not regulated and they're not getting services and things of that issue. So we want to provide that for them if that looks like it's possible, and we're still exploring it. We don't know if it's possible yet.
So Anita was voted in as the mayor.
Yes.
And I know that was a plan that you kind of hatched.
I had always planned to nominate her. I think she's an excellent mayor.
Oh yeah.
She's got the perfect personality for it. People love her.
Yeah,
and that's
Ray,
important.
And Ray was voted in as the vice mayor.
Yeah, it was unanimous on both of those.
What happened to Anita's voice?
She has laryngitis.
How do you get elected mayor on the day you have laryngitis? I couldn't hear a word she was saying. I had to crank up the volume.
I have to give her credit. She was in there hauling through it in spite of the fact she couldn't talk.
I got to tell you. So Anita gets elected mayor, or voted in mayor, not elected mayor anyway. And so Ray sits next to her, and Ray is a wisecracker. So he says, "Oh, you want me to take over right away?" And she goes, "No, not a chance." She was ready to go.
I'll let you know when I need your help. I believe it's the exact quote.
And it was all in good fun. It was all in good fun. And the meeting was great, and everybody's getting along, and things are getting done.
Yes, and in addition to that, we had a huge fundraiser for the Friends of the Mound House last night.
How did that go? Yeah,
we raised, I believe, the most money ever at a Mound House fundraiser, and we started an endowment fund, so that's fabulous. Everybody had a great time. That was held at the Women's Club, and I give kudos to the women that are revitalizing the Women's Club because now all the nonprofits on the beach are beginning to use that facility for different functions. So there's just a lot of positive energy happening on the beach.
Now, I know it might be too early, but do you know what's going on with the street performers? What the deal is with that?
That's been something that's been going on for a long time, actually. We talked about it before when I was on council. I'm not sure what the newest wrinkles are. I know one of the things that was an issue before was what is actually a street performer, because we've had people start doing it that aren't actually performing. They're making things and selling things. And by God, I love the crafts that they make, but it's really not fair to the people that are paying rent to have the businesses on the beach, that they're in competition with someone who's not paying to use the space for a selling purpose.
Right. So we'll get an update from. I know Anita was meeting with one of the street performers, or they were going to plan to meet to talk about what was going on.
That's really her. She's the point person on that.
Great. So what's coming up with the council?
Coming up?
What are the issues now that you're there? And you had a chance to study the 700
I really haven't been there yet.
I mean,
you're going to run for re-election. I mean, come on. It's been a week already.
Have no idea what I'm going to do.
I was kidding.
Yes, I can tell you one of the things that we did talk about is moving our election from March to November. The Lee County Supervisor of Election has been going around to the different localities and saying, look, you can save yourselves money. We pay over $20,000 to hold those elections when no one else is having an election. We have to pay them to come out and set up and do all that stuff. In the past, it made sense, But now that everybody, have it in March because people are here. But now everybody votes by mail. I think more than 50% of the people vote by mail.
Good point.
So having our election at a different time doesn't make a lot of sense. That does mean, though, that we have to pass an ordinance to change our charter, and it affects our terms. Someone said, and I haven't had a chance to look into this yet, that we might need to change our terms from 3 years to 4 years to coincide with that election cycle. So that's all just being looked at right now. But if it is possible to do, it will save the town money.
Well, I think also you should throw into that batch of ordinances you're putting together that the mayor should be elected, because nothing against anybody that's been the mayor, but come on, the mayor should always be elected. But that's just my opinion. But more people will vote in November. I think that's a great idea.
I believe more people will vote in
voting
November.
for all the other things that are going on.
I believe that Bonita has already started the process of getting into that because they had a different election time. Bonita Springs had a different election time as well. So I'm thinking this is a good thing to do. So far, I'm in favor of it based on what I've heard. So that's one thing we've already talked about a little bit.
What's the vibe you're getting for how the season has gone or the spring break has gone? There's been some videos posted on Facebook by the fights at the Lani Kai, but that's just an annual thing.
Well, that's going to happen when you get large groups of people together. From what I understand, the sheriff and security at Lani Kai have been taking care of things pretty well. There have been some problems, but I think there's always going to be when you've got a spring break situation going on. As far as business is concerned, I've been noticing a lot of traffic on the beach, pedestrian and otherwise. I think that's great. TDC, though, actually showed that hotels were down a little bit, I think. So maybe people are coming and staying with relatives. I'm not sure what that exactly means, and I'm going to be looking into that more because I'm going to start going to the TDC meetings. Are you familiar with what TDC is? Okay. TDC is the Tourist Development Council. The Tourist Development Council hands out the money that comes from the tourist tax that is placed on the hotels. So there's a big pile of money comes in. A lot of it goes to advertising to bring people to the beach area. Part of it goes to pay off the debt for the stadium. And then a portion of it goes to providing things for the towns that have a lot of tourists on them. So the town of Fort Myers Beach gets tax dollars from that to keep the beach clean, to build new things on the beach. I believe we got funds to replace the restrooms at Newton Park from that tax. So the people who live in the town aren't paying for that. It comes from the tourism tax.
Great. Do you know when they're going to start rebuilding the sidewalks?
Rebuilding the
Didn't they
sidewalks?
say
No.
they were redoing the sidewalks?
This area, I believe there's a special group that's looking at revitalizing this area, not just the sidewalks, but revitalizing the Times Square area in general.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
it sounds like you guys are having a great time,
Yes.
and it's always cool to have a council member just stop by and drop in.
I
drop in.
appreciate it. I
Thank you for everything.
I apologize
by the way.
for just horning
No.
in. But
No, well,
It's good
we
to see-
appreciate the donation.
Yes. Oh, I didn't see
so-
that. Thank
yeah.
you. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's
Thank
what
you.
she came down here for,
I-
was to drop off
I
the
am
food.
thrilled that you guys are doing it.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
so much
Thank
for
you.
that.
And it sounds like you're feeling better too, because I know you were around election time. You were sick.
And I'll tell you, that thing that was going around just really knocks you out.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
extreme fatigue.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot,
Can I hand
Rexann.
this off to somebody?
Yes. Thank
All
you
right.
very much for coming on. We appreciate it. How cool is that Rexann just shows up and she joins the show. Dear,
Dear, I want to take a couple of minutes.
All right.
Because
To
I
do
have
what?
some special friends that showed up.
Okay, you have
Thank
special
you.
friends, so you're leaving me alone here? Or
No,
Tony's?
they're going to come on over,
Oh,
Dan
okay.
and Nathan.
Dan and Nathan are coming on, and then I'll go set it up with Tony, and we'll continue on. All right, Dan and Nathan, welcome to the show. Have a seat with Kim. Here you go. I'm going to pass off the microphone.
I know you guys didn't plan on this. I didn't even know you were going to be down here.
No, I didn't plan on this at all.
Well, these are some of my friends. This is Dan and Nathan. I've known these guys for a very long time. And I've known Nathan since he was a teeny tiny tot, and now he's grown up into such a handsome young man. What brings you guys down here today?
Well, Abby is on the beach doing cleanup with her WellFit group,
Nice.
and a bunch of girls from FGCU
Okay.
are down here for a beach cleanup till around noon. And this is part of her community service for her scholarship for her trip to Peru.
Nice.
So she's down here working on that this morning.
Now, I know you didn't know it, which is why it's so completely coincidental, but we're doing a food drive for the food pantry at Buckingham.
Oh, Well, no, I didn't know that.
And what can you tell us that you know about Buckingham Exceptional Student Center?
Buckingham Exceptional Student Center. My one son, who is now 14, Jason, has been going there since he was 3 years old. It is more than just a school. This is a family.
Yeah.
These people are absolutely awesome. The teachers are just beyond words. You can't really describe them as just teachers. They are family, and they take care of these children like they're their own.
Yes.
And the therapists and all that are there, and we have to brag on them. They're the best there is. So.
Well, we appreciate that. I know I kind of dragged you over here and just because of the coincidence of doing the food drive. So I appreciate you guys coming on. I'll let you get back to your day. Thank you, Nathan, for coming on.
We're walking, getting our exercise while she's doing that. Didn't see sense in going all the way back home.
There you go. Well, we appreciate her work on the beach and the cleanup too, and wish her luck in her endeavors.
And he's going to leave you on here.
He's
going to.
That's all right. I'm going to keep talking. It's fine.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a great day.
Best of luck. Hope you do good today.
All right. Thank you for joining us. That was completely coincidental. Bye, Nathan. And as I said, we're doing a food drive to benefit the school, and we appreciate all the donations that have come in so far. That was so nice.
What was that about?
So
did they drop food off?
They have a student that goes to that school.
Very nice.
So it was totally coincidental.
Awesome.
So, and then they were surprised when you left me hanging here, but I filled the time.
Well, you know what happens
Maybe
when
not
I leave you hanging. It means I have to hit the restroom, because that's
All
my
right,
problem.
so I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. You think I can handle it?
I don't know.
All right.
I think you're in okay hands.
We'll
sir.
see you
Good
back
luck.
in a little while,
Okay.
dear. All right. Tony Sands is joining us now. Tony from Yesteryear Entertainment's got a big show coming up on, is it April 7th?
April 7th.
April 7th. And Tony, first of all, tell us about Yesteryear Entertainment.
Jerry Nolan, who is in charge of Yesteryear Entertainment, does one of the fantastic jobs. He's got a great lineup of entertainers that he brings down during the season, throughout the season. And I'm fortunate to be with Jerry for several years, and a pleasure working with him. So Jerry actually set this whole deal up, and we're just anxious to do the show.
How did you guys meet?
We met through people who were in the entertainment business, friends that I did shows with, and I met Jerry a few years back and became friends, and been working together for like 3 or 4 years.
And Jerry also works down at the
Fresh Catch.
Fresh Catch, which is by Junkanoo down on the
Wonderful
other side
place.
of the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And your show on April 7th is what?
It's a one-man musical of Mr. Frank Sinatra. So what we did is it's just not a guy coming out and doing Sinatra songs. It took me 3.5 years to put this together.
Wow.
And it's a whole musical. It's a whole life story of Sinatra from the early years when he was with the big band, the Benny Goodman Band, to the main event back in 1974 where he came out of retirement. And we have 6 different scenes. It's actually like a Broadway show. And we do go through the whole life story of Sinatra, and it's very interesting.
Now, how come such a big Sinatra fan?
You know, good question. I get that asked many times from different people, and it all started from the home. You know, when my parents, I was a young child, 9, 10, 11 years old, my parents would play Sinatra. It was a big thing on the weekends, Friday with Frank, Saturday with Frank. So, and then they had all the albums. So once they started playing the Sinatra music in the house, I really viewed his music and was really just surprised the way he phrasing and just his music. When he actually sang a song, he painted a picture for me at that young age, and I knew what he was singing about.
Now, they don't make them like that anymore.
No, I mean, one of a kind guy, and it's just guys like me, keeping the music keeping the music alive. That's what we have to do because it's great music. And we, it's funny at a lot of our shows, we get a lot of younger people, in their early 20s who say, I love Sinatra, and My parents, introduced me to him, and that's why we're here. So it's a good sign.
So let's hear a little bit.
Oh, sure, why not?
Let's hear what we're going to see on April 7th at the Moose Club. No, go ahead and you hold it. You
Yeah,
hold it.
sure.
I just wanted to make sure it's
Sure.
nice and close so everybody can
Absolutely.
hear it loud and clear.
Yeah, we could do like a little thing from a great song called "You Make Me Feel So Young."
Now, will you do a little talking into the song, like explaining it? Do the whole thing.
So what it is, everything's narrated on the recording, and I come out. And the narration's already put in, and I'll come out and we'll do like a narration of Sinatra saloon songs. So the narration would come on and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I was in this bar in Las Vegas, and John Wayne was there, and John asked me, 'What is your favorite song, Frank?' And I proceeded to tell him, and then we go into this song. It's 2:45. Yeah. No one's in the place except you and me. Yeah. So set 'em up, Joe. Got a little story I think you should know." And on and on and on.
So is there music playing? You have a little band behind you? How does that?
Absolutely. Everything is done with the tracks, but they're all original tracks from the Sinatra playlist. So it's easy for us to do the full orchestration. And it gets costly with a band, and then we have to bring up the prices. But
Right.
all the tracks are right on, Ed, and we never had complaints. And it's just an hour and a half full of Sinatra music and his life story.
How many songs total are you doing in a show?
Good question, and I get that asked a lot. I do approximately 22 songs in the show. So it's the history of Sinatra, the narration of Sinatra, the life of Sinatra, and I come out and do 21 of his greatest hits.
And how many shows are you doing a year?
God, I do probably approximately the Sinatra show. I probably do about 50 or 60 shows a year.
Where are you doing?
All along the East Coast. I'm in New York, New Jersey. I'm here in Florida, January, February, March, doing the shows. I do a lot of theater work with it, and hopefully maybe someday make it to New York with it.
Biggest place you've ever played?
Oh my God, Tropicana, Atlantic City.
No way.
Oh yeah.
How many people?
Oh, at least 1,500.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So where do you stay when you're down here?
So I have a place on the East Coast in Delray. I have a condo there, so I'm traveling. And I do a lot of driving. I probably put about 50,000 miles on my car per year. So I'm on the East Coast. I'm on mostly, our big fans are on the West Coast. We do fantastic here on the West Coast. So it's great to be back.
And your family?
Family originally from Philadelphia. I'm born and raised in South Philadelphia, which was Italian neighborhood in South Philly, and we had some great singers there. We had Bobby Rydell, Frankie Avalon, Al Martino, Mario Lanza, and the list goes on and on and
That's
on.
some great music.
Oh my God, great music. We got to keep it alive.
So sing us another one.
You make me feel so young. Yeah. You make me feel like spring has sprung. Yeah. Every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak.
Very nice. The only place you can really get music like that now is Sirius XM.
Sirius XM, they have a great Sinatra station. I always have that on, and not only Sinatra, you got Tony Bennett, you got all those great singers that sang back in the 50s and the 60s, and I'm glad they have that out. And Tina Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra promote that very well.
Have they ever been to any of your shows?
You know what? They're out on the West Coast, and
Okay.
Someday I would like them to see my show. I really would.
You think they've heard about it?
You know what? Hey, that's a good question. They might have. Who knows who's talking? It's your audience is your biggest advertising, and people come to the show and they love it and they spread the word around, and next thing you know, you got them coming back with their friends the following year. So, I've been out in Reno. I did the show in Reno, and that's the furthest I got out west with that. Someday I'd like to bring it out to California, but right now it's going great here on the East Coast.
And how many years have you been doing it total?
Oh my God, I've been singing since I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Professionally, I've been singing since I was, I would say, 35. I started in small, like Sinatra did, small bars, small like cabarets, and just a piano player or what have you. And then I got discovered in 2006 in Atlantic City, not Atlantic City, from the Tropicana in Atlantic City. They discovered me in a bar in Philadelphia, and they took me on, and I was there for 3.5 years at the Tropicana in Atlantic City and had a great time.
When you say they, who's they?
Actually, was somebody was a vice president that finance came in. She came up to me and she says, gee, I love your voice. We'd like to get you working at the Tropicana. And this is when they opened up the new quarter. And she says, I'm going to get my entertainment agent down. He came down, liked what he heard. And next thing you know, I was working at the Tropicana for 3.5 years.
Wow.
5 days a week.
So do you think the younger generation appreciates the kind of entertainer that Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis and that that group really was?
I think, like I said earlier, I think they really would really enjoy him if they heard of him. It's all played in the house. And, like how we get people who come to our show, they'll say, well, you know what? I seen that. I heard that song Fly Me to the Moon on a commercial. I really dug it. So I start looking up who it was. They find out it's Sinatra. They get into the Sinatra music. Next thing you know, they're coming to see the it was a very good year show. So yeah, I mean, you have to bring it out. It's all done in the house. I mean, whoever your mom and dad is, and if they play that kind of music and they're at a young age and they listen to it, I'm sure they're going to love it.
So the Moose Club is where this April 7th show is, and from what I understand, that's a perfect place for something like what you're putting on. Correct?
Exactly. It's a great room. I mean, the Moose Club, they do a great job with at getting everything ready. We're going to have appetizers there, and we're going to have nice seating. There's, Ed is not a bad seat in the house, and hopefully we'll get to fill it up. But this is going to be something new here, so I'm really excited about it.
What would you say is the kind of music now that's anywhere close to Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, and there's some good artists out there who are really keeping his music alive, and you got Michael Bublé, and you have Harry Connick, and you have a lot of great young singers that are keeping his music alive, and guys like me.
What do you think of these shows, these talent shows on TV that are trying to find talent? Sometimes every once in a while on one of those shows, somebody pops up that sings like that, but they don't ever seem to win.
Yeah, and well, the closest one I think, and I got to meet him, and a great young guy, Sal Valentine, or he did a Sinatra thing, I guess about 2 years ago, and he's doing good. He's keeping his music alive. He's appearing at theaters. He's bringing a live band there, and he's doing what he has to do. And like I said, the more the merrier. So
how did you get to meet him?
We have a Sinatra group of guys who that's all they do is keep the music alive once a year in New York City, and it's at Jilly's. And Jilly's is a famous restaurant in New York and Manhattan that Sinatra usually when he was alive used to go there, whenever he was in New York. And we do is we rent the same room that Sinatra sat in, and we ordered the same thing. So yeah, it's
That's
great.
Pretty cool. How many people show up?
Oh God, we have Sal was there, so we have like 20 guys, from the New Jersey, New York, Maryland, all that area. They come up and they come in, and we just talk about Frank and what a great asset he was and great music he did. So we have a good time.
Do you all get up and sing a song too?
No singing.
So the show is going to be April 7th. What are the tickets? How do people get tickets? Tell us all about that.
Absolutely. It's going to be at Moose Lodge 964, and that's at San Carlos Boulevard. And doors are going to open at 6:30. The show is going to start at 7:30. Tickets are $40, and that includes a great appetizers. We're going to have a few appetizers out there. You can either call Jerry Nolan, and his phone number is 239-810-4587, or you can call me, and I'm always there to answer the phone at 267-408-1615. Now, Ed, I think this is probably the best way to, if you want tickets, all you have to do is go online, and you can do everything. And I think it's probably the best way. Go online, get your credit card ready, and all you have to do is go online and type out B as in boy, PT.me/40968885, and that'll take it right to Brown Paper Tickets, and you can buy the tickets right online.
All righty. And there are other shows that Yesteryear puts on as well, right? Not just this one show.
Wonderful shows. Jerry has a great lineup. He has a great Holly Fowers who does great impressions of Tina Turner and Joan Rivers. And then he has a wonderful Dean Martin. He does a great job. And he has a Don Rickles impersonator. So Jerry has a great lineup, and he has great talent that he's going to do in the shows throughout the year. Right here in Fort Myers. Beautiful Fort Myers.
Awesome. And so thank you so much for coming on. Again, it's April the 7th.
April 7th at 7:30.
At the Moose Club, which is right on the other side of the bridge before you get here to Fort Myers.
Correct.
So we hope you have a great turnout and big show. And anytime you need anything, just let us know.
Thanks, Ed. You've been
Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And good luck on April 7th. We'll stay in touch. All right, Tony, thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming down to the beach. We appreciate the drive down to the beach and you sharing the information with us about the show coming up on April the 7th at the Moose Lodge. And the wife joins me back on the show for our final segment, a very busy show today, busier than we thought.
Yes.
And you're wearing a blanket today.
I am.
Why the blanket?
Because we're sitting in the shade, and in the shade,
it's windy today.
A little windy.
It started out
chilly.
53 degrees this morning.
Well,
which
it certainly has warmed up since then.
Yeah, it is. You know, I feel like such a sissy, too, because, you know, it's not really cold, but it's
wouldn't
chilly.
even ride your bike the other day, and it wasn't that bad.
If I decided after last year that if it wasn't 70 or higher, I'm not getting on the bike. Because one time I thought I was going to be a badass, and I got on the bike when it was 45 degrees. And I rode from Gateway to Bonita Beach, which was about 35 miles. And then I sat in the racetrack and cried like a little baby because it was so cold and waited for the sun to come out. So I sat there
I think
for
you
2
called
hours.
me for rescue that day.
No, I've never done that. I've never called you to rescue me. You called me and said, you want me to come get you? And I said, no, I'm going to sit here until the sun comes out because I'm not a sissy. Well, that was nice of Rexann to stop by and give us an update. And, you know, you always wonder, Rexann was a regular on the show before the election. And you always wonder when people get elected, you know, all of a sudden,
You've said that, but
I know.
both she and Ray have been on.
Both Ray and Rexann have come on, and Ray came on like days after he won the election, where he could have just said, flip off, I'm in, I'm the king. And
he's
he
the
did.
Vice King.
He came. That's right. He's the Vice King. He came right on, and we appreciated that. Was during the Shrimp Festival, and then Rexann came by and stopped and dropped some food off.
Yes.
We're going to need to take 2 trips back to the truck with all that food. We appreciate everybody.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Now, what is the? Where's that going to go?
So that's going to go out to one of the schools that I work at, and it's going to add to the food pantry out there, which was started by this SRO, which is the resource officer, Deputy Donna, started a food pantry out there, and that kids can come into the food pantry. You can look online. One of the TV stations did a story on it, and kids can come in there. They can pick food from what's available and take it home on the weekend.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm freezing right now. I'm shivering. That's how cold I am, and I can't believe it. Why isn't the sun on us like it is every weekend? All of a sudden, the sun's not on us. It's so weird.
Well, you know what? Is this our first weekend since the time change?
Last weekend we were here. When did the time change? I mean, I think I'm going to have to put a sweatshirt on. That's how cold I feel right now. I have jeans on. I have a long sleeve shirt on, and I'm freezing. But anyway, enough about me.
So let me tell you. You know, my mom went back. We had a fantastic 2 weeks. We did a grand tour of lots of things in Florida.
It was only 2 weeks?
It was.
God, it felt like a month.
So one of the things we did was we went down to Everglades City and did an airboat ride. Have you ever done an airboat ride?
I didn't know you did that, and no, I've never done that.
We do actually live in the same house. Yes, we did an airboat ride, and it was fantastic. We got to see an alligator. We got to see dolphins, and you go super fast through the mangroves, and they're like whipping it into these tiny little areas. You're like, there's no way he's going to fit that boat in there.
Did you take any video?
I did.
Well,
lots of video.
How come I haven't seen any video, or you haven't posted any of the video?
I've been busy, and it's super fast.
You were on vacation all week. You didn't work this week. You didn't really do anything this week.
Yes, we were constantly going. We went there. We went to the Octagon. We went to
the UFC
Babcock
Octagon. You and your mom in the octagon?
Went to the octagon. It's not that. That's a wildlife sanctuary,
Oh.
and that people should really go to. It's right off 31. It's fantastic. It's not for profit. There's tons of saved animals. They've saved these animals: tigers, ligers, bears,
Ligers?
birds. Yes.
What's a liger?
It's a mix of a lion and a tiger.
It is not. You
Yes.
just made that up.
No, I'm not. They have. It's big. It's huge. They have all sorts of wildlife there, and the stories. They posted the stories about how they got to the sanctuary, but it's very nice, and everybody should go out there and support it.
Where is it again? On 31?
It's off. Yep, it's off 31, right across from where one of the entrances to Babcock Ranch is.
So she had a good time.
She had a good time. But while we were on this airboat ride, so you're going to be on this airboat for
Did they have
45
seatbelts?
minutes to an hour. No, and they go fast. But what
They
should
have
you
life
do?
jackets?
Wait, no. What should you do before you're going to go out somewhere, like on a boat?
Take a Dramamine?
No.
Go to the bathroom. So who had to go?
Now,
Uh-oh.
we were on the boat.
Here comes-
It's
Hold your
me
ears,
and my
kids.
mom
Hold your ears, kids.
and 3 people from Germany in the front.
Hi. Uh-oh.
Germany from the front.
Hi.
And while we pull in to stop, the male that's with them
Wait a
says,
second. How do you stop in the Everglades?
because they drive the boat in and they do a spin out or a burnout on the water. Let me finish. And
All
so he says, wait, you're going to want to hear this. He says to the driver, he starts motioning and conveying that he has to go to the bathroom. And we're in the middle of the Everglades mangroves. There's no restrooms out there. So the airboat driver's like, well, it happens. He's like, ladies, look that way. And he let the guy go to the back of the boat and take care of business. And I was like, okay, this is way more.
None of the ladies had to go?
No,
Or at least
because
they weren't going
we
to say
know.
anything.
Yes, we know you're going to be on a boat. Go
How long was
to
the
the
ride?
bathroom for. It was like 45 minutes to an hour,
Do you have any
maybe.
mittens in the car? Holy moly. What is going on out here? It's got to be 70 degrees, dear.
Dear,
Freezing.
it's wonderful down here at the beach. You're in the shade.
It is nice down here at the beach. So anything else that you wanted to talk about as far as you and your mom vacationing together, which, by the way, was my idea to invite her down.
It was.
Yes.
It was a good idea.
We actually, I think we almost hugged when she left.
Well,
Almost.
I know. You
don't like
should have.
touching.
I know. You take a break for something for 2 seconds to say goodbye.
So she's back in Utah.
Yep.
And when is she coming down again? Do we know yet?
I don't know, but I know she and Chad Lincoln are making plans for
Really?
the Shrimp
Chad?
Festival.
Chad's the man. For what?
For the Shrimp Festival
Oh,
next year.
Chad's back in, where is he? Nebraska? Somewhere where it's cold.
Michigan, I believe.
With all our swag. They better
Mhm.
be showing off our gear up there in Nebraska, wherever they go out with their hats and their shirts and
My
everything
mother
that they-
left with lots of shirts.
Yeah.
We got her lots of swag.
We
from
only
all
have
over the
2
place.
hats left, by the way, folks, and you can have one for $30 or $15, whatever you have, whatever works for you. And so next week is going to be like, this was a surprisingly awesome show this week with all the performers. I don't know if you heard Tony sang a few songs. You'll have to go back and listen to the
Did you
replay.
sing with him?
I didn't sing with him. I didn't
Why
know what he
not?
was going to sing.
Oh.
I do know all the Frank Sinatra songs, but I didn't sing any of the songs that he sang. Next week, we have Chauncey Goss on, people. Yeah, you know who that is. That's a big wig right there. He is not only the son of the former CIA director, Porter Goss, but he's now the chairman of the Southwest Florida Management Committee or Board, or is it, what is
District?
it called? District, yeah. So he's a big deal, people. He's a big deal. So we're going to be talking water next week with Chauncey Goss. At 9:05, he's agreed to come on, and then Beverly Milligan is coming on at 9:30 to talk
Nice.
about Heart of the Island. It's a brand new organization, and you know what they talk about? The Heart of the Island, dear.
There you go.
What else is going on in your life that you want to share with everybody?
Not much.
Anything?
I was so pleased to get to see all of the fantastic things that are around Fort Myers
Yeah.
Beach and Fort Myers in general.
Yeah, we sit in
saw
the house.
manatees.
Yeah. You sit
Manatees were up in the
so you
river.
don't get to enjoy all that stuff. But
No, you got to get out
when
and
you,
take
when
advantage.
your mom comes to town, then you get to take her out on all the sites. Did you go anywhere else that you missed that you want to share with people? Besides the Shrimp Festival,
Miami.
You went to Miami.
Everglades
That's right. We went to
City.
Miami. That's right. Yep. Not a
We
fan.
went to Chokoloskee, which is on the tip down there. They got hit by the hurricane real bad, but they looked like they had recovered.
Did you go anywhere cool to eat?
We went to the Shrimp Shack in Fort Myers.
Shrimp Shack.
Yeah. And of course, we ate here at Pete's a couple of times, and
Yeah.
that was super fantastic.
By the way, speaking of Pete's, want to give everybody a Gene update that's been wondering where Gene is. Now, Gene fell and hurt his back, and he's been in the hospital for a week. You went to see him in the hospital.
Yep.
It's kind of loopy in the hospital, but we think that's because of
He's
the pain
getting
medication.
better now, though.
So it was funny, I have to say. He was leaned over to the side a little bit, and I said, "Well, Gene, sit up straight." And so he went, "I am sitting up straight."
I know.
And then I said, "Move to your left a little bit," and then all you saw was,
I
So
know.
his
He was
back
in a
is
lot of pain.
So he says he fell off a ladder, but we're not 100% sure if that's true. He might have fell over a ladder.
Yeah.
Because we don't think that Gene would be on a ladder. But anyway, now he's in a rehab place, right?
Correct.
Where is he in?
Manor Care.
Manor Care. So
On
they're
Daniels
taking
at
taking
Eagle
care of his
Ridge.
back, right? Taking care of
Yep.
his back. So he'll be
His daughter was here, said that he got physical therapy the other day, and that the physical therapist said he got him up and he got him walking. So
okay, cool.
he's taken a few steps. He's on the mend,
Right.
and we wish him well.
Yes, we'll
A
keep you up to
speedy
date.
recovery.
We'll keep you up to date on the Gene thing every week.
Because we really miss people coming by and saying OH, or him
Yes.
saying OH,
I don't
and they
miss
say,
that much. I do
I
miss
love
Gene
that.
not being here, but I don't know if I miss
I've picked it up now. If I see somebody wearing a shirt, I'll start it.
in honor of Gene.
In honor of
Because you're
Gene.
not
No.
you don't even I don't even know. Are they in the basketball tournament? I have no idea. I don't pay any attention to that. So
No, I don't know.
all right, folks. So that's an hour, another hour down. So next week, Chauncey Goss is going to be here and Beverly Milligan, and we're also working on the Turtle Lady, Eve, trying to get Eve on.
Very excited
So
about that.
that'll be fun because they talked a lot about the turtles at the council meeting last week, and I still don't understand when you're not supposed to have lights on out on the beach to make sure the turtles. They talked about disorientation. Do you know what that is?
Yes, because the turtles need to go into the water. They don't want to get drawn onto land. That would not be good.
No, that's what happened. There was 17 disorientations or some kind of number of disorientations where the turtles freak out and they go the wrong way.
Right.
So what happens when they go the wrong way? Do they die?
I imagine it's not good for a marine animal to be.
Why do they
walking
need to
through
go in
here.
the water?
Because that's where they live.
So they hatch in the sand and they run into the water and they're
Yes.
gone.
Well, they don't run. They're
whatever they
kind of
do,
a
they're
slow,
turtles.
ambling.
So they hatch in the sand somehow. Who lays the eggs in the sand? The mama turtle.
I'm guessing.
So she comes out of the water and lays the eggs in the sand.
and makes a
and
nest.
has how many turtles come out of an egg? One
many-
turtle out
yeah.
of one egg. So
Yeah.
she lays
I don't know how many eggs they
tons
lay.
of eggs because apparently there's a big number of turtles.
Why don't we
So-
let them?
So when they
Give
go
us
out to
the
the water,
facts.
do they survive or do the fish eat them?
I
Is
imagine
turtle good food for fish?
not all of them. So I don't think fish eat turtle.
So how
Please,
many
you're
survive?
showing-
Where do
all
they
right,
go?
I'm out.
I mean, there's thousands and thousands of turtles, right? Do they have any video of the turtles running into the water? I mean, how far can a turtle that big get in the water? I mean, how far out can they go?
I think it rides on the currents.
And they're just so the wave comes back in and then they ride back out. And the
Yep.
wave comes back in, they ride back out.
Yep.
And none of the fish eat
20
turtles.
minutes, they're in Hawaii.
None of the fish eat the turtles. Is that what you're saying? All right. That's why we need you to come on, Eve, because she doesn't know anything about turtles. Bye-bye.